Hello, Crypto Garden friends. Ryan here. I wanted to do a little response to some of the comments I've seen in the Crypto Garden. And what was being talked about this morning was the question, what stage of the Wyckoff accumulation are we in right now? And so I just wanted to offer a couple thoughts about that. First and foremost, I want to say that while it was pretty shocking, I guess, that we saw such a textbook distribution and accumulation really at the beginning and middle of the 2021 bull run. So much so that you could draw it on the chart and it looks almost identical to the schematics for Wyckoff. We had the distribution event and then the accumulation event, and they look like textbook diagrams. And then we had a distribution, redistribution, and then we kind of fell into this backside of, a bear market kind of structure. And so I guess the reason I'm making this video is I wanted to just think aloud and process for my own edification. Where do I think we are and what do I think is actually happening? And I want to point out that really what the Wyckoff cycle is it's just an acknowledgement that the markets are always swinging from oversold to overbought. And there's the markup phase and a markdown phase. And that this oversold, overbought frequency, or this cycle, happens on different frequencies, different amplitudes, and it's happening all the time. And so if you go to the RSI, the stochastic RSI, this is essentially just this illustrated. And you can see the overbought, you can see the oversold, and if we look on any time frame, we will see that cycling. So right now I'm looking at the daily, and we see that we are pretty heavily in the overbought, which can only mean that we're going to turn around and have a sell-off. And if I go to a even larger time frame, actually let's go to a smaller time frame, let's go to 1 hour. You can see that even on the 1 hour time frames, now this is only over the course of, here's September 8th, and we've had multiple fluctuations in that same time frame. If I zoom in here, you can kind of see the price rising and falling as we've overbought, oversold, creeping our way back up. And now we're back in an overbought and we're heading back down. And this is on the 1 hour chart. And if I go to a big zoomed out chart, the monthly chart, hopefully there's enough data here. I might need to go to the BLX for this kind of view. Let's do that. So here's monthly. And yeah, you see on the BLX on the monthly that, overbought in the 2017 bull run. And then we were oversold for this whole period. A brief little moment of overbought in 2019 before coming back down. And then here is just like our Wyckoff schematic. Here's the overbought period, which is most of this whole first part of the bull run, basically from, let's see, it really started heading up in June of 2020, got to a peak in April of 2021, which is exactly when we saw the big crash. And so then we dove back down, and we're just starting to get under that line, under that overbought line, and crawling across the bottom. Last time we were in overbought on the monthly for, let's see, how many days is this? 454 days. And so far this time, if we kind of go to the same place that we've gone underneath here, we're at 274 days. And so, my whole point in making this video is to say that I think that we can look at these cycles and we can understand this logic, oversold, overbought. I don't think, however, that we can with any real confidence go back to the Wyckoff diagram and confidently say, okay, well, because we're in accumulation, let's just grab the accumulation textbook diagram, overlay it on the chart. Clearly, this was then our automatic reaction, and this is what's going to play out based on the schematic. I think that's really dangerous thinking. I think that the powers that be are pretty wise to the fact that we're wise to how a lot of the accumulation and distribution works, and to just paint another textbook diagram, it's hard for me to swallow. It's hard for me to believe that we're going to see this level of regularity. And what I did is I just brought over this accumulation diagram. I just pasted it right into my TradingView chart. I'll go ahead and just, I'll just shrink this down, get it out of the way. But I traced it. So here's the lines of, kind of the textbook Wyckoff accumulation. And so my hackles stand up. I get prickly when I see this kind of just traced onto the chart. That's not to say that there might not be some real moves in here that match this pretty nicely. In fact, you know what? I'll keep this in here. I'll put this on this chart, and we'll be checking back with it. But yeah, are we going to just see this very obvious playing out of this accumulation pattern? I don't think so. I think what we're going to see is more what we've seen in past bear markets, where we've got the concept, the Wyckoffian concept of overbought, oversold, but it's following a different narrative style. It's so easy to bend and deflect price when it's very, very clearly in markup, and then scaring into that markdown. This is, there's a lot that's going on. Influencers are all out, shouting about bull runs and change your life with crypto, yada, yada. And so you can get to this level of deflecting the price. But when you're in a bear market, there's less attention being paid. I think the swings and the cycles are probably a little bit less energy behind them. And so, yeah, I would expect that rather than a textbook diagram where we're like, oh, we're at the automatic rally, so we know that there's another big high coming, yada, yada, that more than likely, we will probably see a similar overall direction and effect. But it really remains to be seen what the narrative is and how it unfolds, because you could have a black swan event, you could have a induced market interest moment. Let's say Tesla goes back and saying, oh, Bitcoin is the future, and we're trading all of our fiat bank holdings to crypto again. You could get a spike in kind of a different place. But I personally hesitate to just look at the diagram and be like, we are here. We have a map of the terrain. I think we have a map of the concepts, this one here. And so it's just an understanding of that and kind of riding these waves that will get us to the next place. I think Wyckoff is one of those things that when you look back on a chart, you can see it very clearly. But when you're in it, it's like the fog of war is always obfuscating the next big event, and it's not until time has passed and you look back that you can say, oh, okay, this is what happened. It's a lot harder to say this is what's happening and to make responsible investments based on that. But that's just the way I'm thinking about it, and I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoy your Monday. Talk at you later. Bye. As a last little conclusion, I want to thank all of the Crypto Guard members for sticking it out. I know it's been a rocky road. I mean, when I look at this graph, when I look at this chart, I just see all of the emotions involved. And so not only have we been trying to build a crypto community, we've been doing it while our emotions have been, grabbing us by the throat through our ass and jerking us up and down and all around. And I know that personally I've gone through a bunch of shit, and so I haven't always given as much attention to the Crypto Garden community. It's part of my MO and my message that I think we ought to be focusing on the things in our life that are real and substantial, and crypto isn't always that. I mean, there's definitely a time and a place and an interest. I mean, clearly I'm still here. I'm still looking at these charts on a daily basis. But I'm not on the Discord every day, and I'm not, rabbit holing into this space as much as I used to. That's not to say others can't, but just for me that's how I regained my balance. And so I want to apologize to the Crypto Garden community because you know, a lot of people kind of came together around this notion that we should be human and that we should take care of each other and educate each other. And then, you know, I've kind of just gone in and out of my interest here. And so I apologize to those of you who kind of see me as the face of this community. That's not what I want. I'm hoping that we can continue to create a vibrant community of a lot of different personalities and perspectives, and that we can come and go as our lives, you know, permit. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, but I am, I'm very grateful to the leaf blowers in my neighborhood. No, I'm very grateful to you, and I will continue to be making content for the Crypto Garden as I get back into my regularly scheduled reality. So yeah, talk to you all soon. Cheers.